baila, baila, y olvidar tus penas. Baila, baila, baila.
One Monday morning, the traffic light turned red during rush hour. A young lady was the first in her lane. She was busy texting on her phone when the light turned green, and so she did not notice it. Before she could notice the light, it was back to red. And right behind her was a man in a truck. And the man driving the truck, when he noticed the light turned red again without the lady moving, he began to honk, to curse, and to show her his middle finger through the window. And just right at that point, a police officer showed up behind the truck and arrested the young man. And so the young man began to protest. What have I done? What is wrong with me? Why are you arresting me? If anyone should be arrested, it should be the lady right in front of me who was texting instead of focusing on her driving. This is injustice. What is unjust? And he kept on going on and on and on. And then the police officer said nothing, got him arrested, handcuffed, and detained him for about 2 hours. And then later released him. But the young man would not go. He said, I will not leave until you explain to me why you arrested me. And so the police officer asked, do you really want to know? He said, yes. And so the police officer went on to explain. You see, at first, you did nothing wrong. But I was right behind your truck. I saw the bumper stickers. One of them, the picture of the Blessed Virgin Mary. Another one, 40 days walk for life. Another one, I love Jesus. Another one, I saw the statue of the Blessed Virgin Mary. And another one, the statue of the Holy Family on your dashboard. And hanging on your rearview mirror, the rosary beads. And as soon as you began to honk and to curse and to show the middle finger, I said to myself, this truck certainly was stolen. My dearly beloved in Christ, we live in a world that is not only stained, but dominated by sin. The break of each day brings us opportunities, more and more opportunities for sins. Even when we don't want to sin, sometimes we go to the confessional, and as soon as we are stepping out, more opportunities for sin are embracing us. It is in such a world, soaked in sin, that Jesus expects us as Christians to live a life that is free from sin. In today's gospel passage, Jesus sends out his apostles. This is Mark's account. In Matthew's account of this missioning, Jesus tells them, I am sending you out as sheep in the midst of wolves. So he warned them, you are going to meet wolves in the world. But in the midst of the wolfishness of the world, I would like you to maintain your sheep identity. Go as sheep and come back as sheep. You must not be converted to become like one of the wolves. In today's second reading, St. Paul, writing to the Ephesians, reminds them, as Christians, you were chosen right from the foundation of the world to be holy and to be blameless. It doesn't matter what is going on in the world. Just know that as Christians, you have been chosen from the foundation of the world to be holy and to be blameless. What does it mean to be holy? The word holy from the Greek is hagios. And hagios connotes being set apart, being different. So a temple is holy because it is different and set apart from other buildings. A priest is holy because he is set apart from other human beings. A victim, an animal that is sacrificed in the temple, is holy because it is set apart from other animals. The Sabbath day is holy because it is different. It is set apart from other days of the week. God is supremely holy because he's set apart from creatures. So, that a Christian is holy means that the Christian is set apart from the rest of the world. And being set apart from the rest of the world does not imply being physically removed from the world. A Christian lives in the world. The Christian goes to the same school with other people, flies on the same plane, on the same bus, same job, goes to the same market. However, as Jesus says in John, you are in the world, but not of the world. That the world should be able to see you and notice that there's something different about you. Should see how set apart you are from the rest of the world. That is the call that a Christian has received to be holy. You are in the Navy, you are in the military like anybody. However, the world should be able to spot something in you that is different. That after this Mass, even without my collar, people should be able to see me and say, there is something different about this person. Remember, that was how we came about the name Christian. We did not give ourselves the name. It was in Antioch that the early Christians were living their lives, sharing. Those who had shared with those who did not have. They were living in love. And outsiders saw them and said, there is something unique about these people. They behave like Christ. Let us call them followers of Christ. And so they call them Christians, and we have inherited that name. So, in your uniform, like everybody, is there something about you that people will see and say, no, even though he's putting on the same uniform with us, there is something that stands out in him, in her? You know, when I joined the Navy just a couple of years ago, I started hearing people saying things like, I'm in the Navy, so I curse like a sailor. I curse like a sailor. So when I went to basic training, I couldn't wait to get to that day when they were going to teach us how to curse like a sailor. So every day I went to class, every day for training, I kept waiting. When are they going to teach us? I was ready to take notes to see how to curse like a sailor. But until the end of my training, there was no day anybody came to class to say, now begin to take notes. This is how to curse like a sailor. Step number 1. There was nothing like that. So I started asking, instead of saying I curse like a sailor, why not say I bless like a Catholic? I love like a Christian. I forgive like a follower of Christ. People like to give excuses to say, you see, I was not like this. It's the military that made me this way. I used to be a good person until I joined the military. I used to be a good person until I became a chief. You know, it is my leadership position that is making me to be this tough, this hard on people. I used to be more gentle. I tell people, I don't believe in people when they say the condition changed me. I don't believe conditions change people. My belief is that conditions reveal who people are. The condition cannot change you. It will only reveal who you are. Sometimes at a confessional, a lady, for example, can come in and say, bless me, Father, for I have sinned. See, Father, I cursed my husband. But please don't get me wrong. I'm a good person. It's just, Father, if you know my husband, you know that I'm a saint. You see, my husband pushed me to do it. Or even a man will come and say, Father, I used to be a good man until this woman came into my life. But I continue to stand on my ground. Conditions cannot change you. Conditions can only reveal who you are. St. Paul tells us, you have been chosen right from the foundation of the world, even before the foundation of the world, to be holy and blameless. And we must claim that identity as followers of Christ. I don't know if you have heard this story about a monk and a scorpion. The monk went to the beach to have his daily meditation. And while he was there meditating, he saw a scorpion that was being swept into the ocean by the waves. And so he bent down immediately and picked up the scorpion to save it from being drowned. And the scorpion stung him. And so he began to nurse his finger. He threw the scorpion on the ground and began to nurse his finger. After a while, he went down again to save the scorpion. The scorpion stung him the second time. He threw the scorpion on the ground and began to nurse his finger. The third time, he was going down to pick the scorpion, and someone who noticed what had happened rushed him, yelled at him, "Monk, are you out of your mind? Twice you tried to save this scorpion. It stung you twice, and you are going the third time. Stop it." And then the monk said, "I am a monk. It is a scorpion. It is the nature of the scorpion to sting. It is the nature of the monk to love and to save. Let the scorpion go on stinging, but the monk must not stop loving and saving." My dearly beloved in Christ, I am not suggesting that after this Mass, you go out now and start looking for scorpions to pick with your bare hands. The point here is, you must not let someone else's bitterness take away your sweetness. Remember, you have been chosen before the foundation of the world to be holy and blameless.